Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex.
And I'm Jay.
And we have some news updates for you from around the land of smiles today, this Wednesday, January 29th. But before we begin, remember to subscribe to the Thaiger to stay up to date on all things Thailand.
Subscribe.
Now, today, we'll be talking about Chinese New Year and the massive amount of spending it is bringing into Thailand. A Russian couple accused of dining and dashing all over Phuket. And a little later, the restructuring of Indonesia's military in a potential sign of democratic backsliding. But first, we're back to Phuket. A tourist brawl in Phuket has sparked a debate on visa policies. All right, an Italian and an Indian tourist were filmed brawling on Phuket's Bangla Road, par for the course, prompting bystanders, some cheering, others recording on phones, fight, 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 to watch the spectacle. Security personnel and fellow tourists eventually broke up the fight before anyone was seriously hurt. The incident has sparked online debate about Thailand's free visa policy, with critics calling for stricter regulations to prevent future altercations. Despite the drama, there were no major injuries, but concerns remain about adequate legal safeguards.
Yeah.
Indian versus Italian. Imagine the hand gestures. Maybe they were just arguing colorfully.
They were asking who's got the better pasta. They were like, no, we have naans and rotis. It's like, no, the pizza is the best.
Yeah, fair enough. I just think it's like, what are you going to do, though, like, to stop people, like, because they want to, like, restructure the visa policies and stop making it free. How are you going to be able to tell at the border who's going to be likely to get into these kerfuffles or whatever?
True.
So I don't know how to get around this without, implementing some, like, racial profiling, but...
Some good old decent racial profiling. Just do it.
It's classic.
But I have a thing, like, whenever I notice these kinds of videos, I always, like, think about myself as in, like, what would I do if I was in that situation?
Yeah.
Like, I saw that man, like, running up to, like, what would you do if a man was, like, running up to you about to come and punch you? Do you kick him in the face? Like, in my mind, I'd be like, I'd just, like, karate kick him in the face.
Yeah.
But then I don't know if my body would follow,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
one
don't know.
can imagine it and visualize it. It doesn't mean it's actually going to happen.
I mean, it's pretty wild. I've had some wild nights. I'm in my mid-30s now. I've been to lots of different parties like this, in situations like this. Never escalated to violence. Somehow I've managed to dodge that bullet.
I am surprised.
I think it just takes two douchebags to really like just get into a measuring contest, let's say.
So,
and
You looking at me, bro? You look at me, bro? What are you looking at?
it's very annoying. Anyways.
That's exactly how those Italians and Indians spoke.
You looking at me, bro?
All right, moving on to our next story, which is regarding a British woman who's been jailed after collecting debt from a Thai millionaire. British private estate consultant Rachel Stollard flew to Thailand to collect an unpaid £30,000 fee from a Thai millionaire, but claims she was jailed on bogus charges after her client allegedly bribed local police. Held in poor conditions, she bribed officers for food and criticized minimal help from the British embassy. Stollard eventually paid over £38,000 in bail and legal fees, leaving her heavily in debt. Though currently free, she still awaits trial, potentially years away, and insists that there is no evidence behind the 7 charges against her. What a crazy situation.
Yeah.
I feel like we're missing a lot of information. That's obviously one side of the story. We'd love to know more, but what do you do if it is true?
Yeah, it's also a little scary because this could be, one of those defamation things too, where she might be digging herself even deeper if this is not provable. The fact that she was trying to collect that, and again, Thailand, there's a lot of influence wielded behind the curtain that coming in as an outsider, you're not really privy to, especially if you're used to Western structures where things are really above board. It can be a little tricky over here, that's for sure. We are back down to Phuket, where a Russian couple has been accused of dining and dashing at many restaurants. So, a Russian couple in Phuket has been accused of repeatedly dining and dashing, sometimes asking for free meals by claiming they have no money. Their behavior has sparked anger among restaurant owners, with some calling for stricter enforcement of Thai laws against begging. The incident has reignited debate over Thailand's visa-free policy, with critics blaming it for attracting so-called low-quality foreign visitors. In a related case, a massage parlor reported 3 Israeli clients refusing to pay, citing dissatisfaction with the service. I think that's kind of a no-no.
With the mass tourism, there's going to be whole loads of people. And this is not the first time. We've had many foreigners over, even before the pandemic. This was quite common, where like we had a lot of backpackers and foreigners who are actually begging on the street. Like they just sit down, they put a hat out, and they either ran out of money or they can't even pay for food until they go back home. And they don't want to do that, but yeah, sometimes that does happen.
Well, it's one of the things where it becomes a drag on the local system, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're like going around and begging, that just puts people off. Obviously, Thai people are very kind and want to help as well. This particular couple, like, you know, it's one thing to go and ask as well too. It's another thing to, you know, engage in the social contract where you sit down, you eat, then you're expected to pay, but then you just run away. So, yeah, very frustrating. And also for the Israelis apparently not paying for massages after being unsatisfied with the service. It's like, if it sucks, dude, maybe stop halfway through, or maybe tell them like in 10 minutes, like, okay, you know what, this is not working.
Yeah.
Waiting for the entire service to be rendered and then deciding not to pay.
Only they realize at the end that it was the wrong service.
Well, I mean,
allegedly.
That's again, you've wasted so much time and resources from the people providing the service.
No,
that,
agreed.
Yeah,
they should still pay up, but
not okay. I think.
Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. We're going to move on to our next story, which is regarding Thailand to launch a digital TM6 for tourists, delays 300 baht fee. Some good news coming out of Thailand. Starting May the 1st, Thailand will switch from paper TM6 forms to a mandatory digital version for all international arrivals by air, land, and sea. So you no longer have to run for that paper you forgot to take while you were on board. The move is designed to streamline immigration and boost safety by tracking tourists more effectively. Officials will finalize rollout details on January the 31st, ensuring user-friendliness before introducing any extra screening measures. Meanwhile, the planned 300 baht tourism fee has been postponed again. It's now been 2 years. Well, maybe they should just scrap it. It's okay to say it was a bad idea, but possibly for months or longer until the new system is running smoothly without complications. So, well done to being a bit more modern, I guess. I mean, technically, it's still you still have to fill the form, but at least it's digital. A lot of the times, people lose that piece of paper. So, you know, when you're flying into Thailand, you get that TM6 white form, and you get an arrival and a departure, and you fill the arrival one, and then they take it at immigration, and then tell you like keep the departure one.
You lose it, you die.
Yeah,
No.
it literally feels like that.
It does, yeah.
It literally feels like that. If you lose this, there's going to be some serious consequences. Well, I don't know what actually happens. I've never lost it, but
Yeah.
it's like okay. But yeah, now they've digitized it, so.
Yay. Yeah, as Elliot says in the comments, it's a copycat of the Singapore arrival card and Malaysia's digital arrival card. Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
which they probably did 10 years ago.
Like, yeah, I think it's okay to copy things that work. So I think it's good to see the system modernized.
agree, yeah.
Maybe streamline things a little bit too.
I mean, it's completely okay to like look at countries that have figured it out, you know, or like more developed countries where like they are using more modern technology and copy it. Absolutely copy it. I don't think those countries mind. There's no like originality laws in this. Just be efficient and smooth.
That's the whole point of public policy is to look and see what works and then use what works in other places. So yeah, I like it.
Smooth operator.
All right, shall we continue? Now, guys, you might have noticed that I am wearing red in honor of the one and only the Chinese New Year. Well, guess what? That's bringing a lot of money into Thailand, nearly 51 billion baht.
Year of the snake.
Indeed. Now, Thailand's Chinese New Year spending is expected to hit 51.78 billion baht, the highest in 5 years, marking a 4.5% increase over last year. In Songkhla, shops see strong demand for decorative items, though Rayong vendors report slower sales due to lingering economic pressures and higher product costs. Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra extended festive wishes, highlighting the deep-rooted ties between Thailand and China. The government backs cultural events like Yaowarat's iconic performance and food stalls, aiming for 2.2 million local and international visitors and over 6 billion baht in tourism revenue. Yay!
Yay!
新年快乐，恭喜发财。
Woo!
Year of the Snake, indeed, coming in. Yeah, this is what I love about Thailand is that it takes all of these celebrations so seriously. It really gets into the festive spirit.
Yeah.
Even though it's not, I saw a joke the other day. The best part about living in Thailand is you get to celebrate the New Year 3 times.
Yes, sir. That's true.
Of course, the traditional one, now Chinese New Year, and eventually we have
There were a lot
Songkran
of
coming up.
fireworks last night. I mean, not massive ones, but quite a few ones. I'm sure Chinatown must have been bright as the day that night.
I was thinking of going to Chinatown because obviously Chinese New Year, but at the same time, it's got to be a madhouse. Like, it's got to be throngs of people over
Do
there.
you think more people would go there because it's Chinese New Year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do think so. Like,
'Cause I think it's
Seems
more
like an obvious one.
the people who are like traditional Thai Chinese or celebrating Chinese New Year. I think they're more inclined to do something at home with the family, right? It's like more of a family time. It's like Thanksgiving kind of vibe. Like,
Sure.
let's get together, have a giant meal without the fighting.
yeah, but I think
Uncle Roger.
that's the thing. I mean, tons of people that aren't Thai Chinese or Chinese still like to get into the festive spirit, and obviously Chinatown is one place that will definitely be going all out in terms of decorations and of course Chinese food and all that stuff. So
Is Thanksgiving in America that notoriously awkward when you sit on the table with
sure, yeah,
all the family members
Can
and
be.
they're like
Because eventually people talk politics or something like that, and then turkey legs start flying.
people just asking inappropriate questions like, "Hey, Alex, are you still going to Florida State and discovering your bisexuality by learning how to become a DJ?"
Whoa. First of all, Florida State is the enemy. I'm a Gator. Go
sorry.
Gators, UF.
Yeah.
Second of all, everybody knows I'm bisexual.
Yeah.
Third, I'm not a DJ, bro. I
Well,
play ukulele.
doesn't take much.
Okay. None of those things were true. I am a Gator. But yeah, in any case, you just threw me for a loop
How
there.
dare you?
Last time
Is
I'm
it
sorry.
me?
That's you.
Chiang Mai, ladies and gentlemen, is to join UNESCO's World Heritage List. Chiang Mai, historical heart of the Lanna Kingdom, is finalizing its bid to become UNESCO's World Heritage Site. Officials aim to include renowned spots like Wat Pratat Doi Suthep and Doi Suthep Pui National Park, Wat Chedi Luang, and the ancient city walls in their proposal. Already on UNESCO's tentative list since 2015, Chiang Mai hopes to join Thailand's 5 existing World Heritage Sites. If approved, the designation would boost global recognition, preservation efforts, and tourism for the city's rich cultural heritage. And I'm very sure that they definitely left out the pollution.
Yeah, that is a bit of an issue, isn't it? But it doesn't take away the history that is there, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you want people to focus on when they're there and there's smog everywhere. And they're like, what's going on? But the rich heritage, though.
Yeah. I mean,
But the rich heritage.
look, I think it's a nice
Look at
concept.
temples.
Yeah.
Look at it's the smog from it's the cold air.
Yeah.
Air pressure systems.
Look, I think it's a good thing. I think Chiang Mai is an absolutely amazing city. Smog, no smog. I think it's a really lovely place to spend some time, and it has a lot of that cultural heritage. I'm surprised that it isn't already on the list. So,
It's my favorite city in Thailand.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like,
I mean, even though it's not my home, but it actually is. Chiang Mai is absolutely beautiful. It's a bit sad that I have a lot of loved ones in Chiang Mai. Like some of my favorite people in the world live in Chiang Mai, and I feel bad for them that for a couple of months of the year they're like. That's like the worst pollution. We were complaining so much in Bangkok for the last week, and you know we had free BTS rides, and Bangkok has got horrible weather. Everybody worked from home. Chiang Mai deals with this every year, and it's worse.
Yeah. No, it's true. And I mean, the way you're talking, you make it sound like you're never going to see them again. But
Yeah, pretty much.
okay. Yeah.
They're not the same people anymore.
It does get frustrating reporting the same story every single year. Nothing seems to get done. But
I haven't heard from Peter in a while.
TIT.
I'm gonna call him.
Yeah.
All right, moving
Anyways,
on.
Yeah, that's it for our Thailand stories, excuse me. We are now on to our ASEAN section of the news. And our first stop is Indonesia. Now, Indonesia's new leader is expanding the military's role in a test of its fragile democracy. Indonesia's new leader is expanding the military's role in a test of its fragile democracy. That's right. Indonesia's new president, Prabowo Subianto, a former son-in-law of the previous dictator Suharto, is expanding the military's role in civilian affairs, sparking fears of a return to Suharto-era duifungsi that crushed dissent. Major projects like a U.S. $28 billion free school meals program are being handed to the armed forces, and proposed legislation could allow active duty officers into top government roles. Critics warn of democratic backsliding, while Prabowo's allies claim the military provides discipline and efficiency. Many worry these moves erode the reforms enacted after Suharto's fall in 1998. I don't know. Well, I mean, this is one of the things where, okay, you spend a lot of money on the military, you need to use it for something. So I think it's a good thing to be able to use the military for, like typically volunteer services, handing out meals, that kind of a thing. Yeah. However, allowing military officials into top government positions, they always say if your hammer, every problem looks like a nail and you just want to whack it.
True.
So, yeah, this is a little concerning for the advances that have been made in Indonesia's democracy, where we see a lot more power, civil power, being held in the hands of military officials. Not typically a good sign for developing countries.
This is Democracy Manifest.
Yeah. We'll see if it continues over there.
All right, we're going to move on to our next story, which is regarding Cambodia's air quality, which has improved after days of hazardous pollution. It's not just Thailand.
Yeah.
Cambodia's air quality has markedly improved after a period of dangerously high PM 2.5 levels. Pollution in Phnom Penh and several provinces triggered red zone AQI readings, but conditions have now returned to safer levels, with only Pursat and a few other areas recording moderate pollution. The Environment Ministry urges people to follow regular air quality updates, avoid open burning, and seek medical attention for respiratory issues. Authorities attribute the recent spikes to weather shifts, field burning, and forest fires, and are strengthening measures to tackle the root cause of pollution.
Well, sounds like a familiar story for people here in Thailand. Honestly, it's a big issue at this time of year all over Southeast Asia, and it's continuing to. I mean, it's been decades of this. So I don't know. This is a bit of good news that they're not choking as much.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they say, okay, we need to tackle the root causes of pollution. Well, we're waiting.
Do it.
I don't know. Pretty frustrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not alone here in Thailand. Apparently, it's an issue all over the place. All right. Final story. Oh, hold on. I got an itch. There we go.
Down there.
Oh, no, not over there. It's over there.
It's that scene, that scene from Casino Royale.
Oh,
where James Bond is strapped to a chair.
Yeah, talk about whacking mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Good God. That's my favorite Bond villain, by the way. Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, he's just the best villain in general.
Yeah, he's fantastic, man. What a
great movie, Casino Royale.
Yeah, it is. That's the best Bond movie.
Yeah.
Come at me at the comments. I dare you. All right, Eva Green, come on. Okay, let's. Last story. This is our last story. I came up short today because one of our stories had bad footage, but fun one to end on.
Yay.
Over in Vietnam, many historical sites are open for free during Tet. That's right, Vietnam's Tet. Also, the Lunar New Year over there. While several heritage sites will offer free entry to encourage cultural exploration. In Hanoi, visitors get complimentary access to the Heritage House at 87 Ma Mai Street and the Cantonese Assembly Hall at 22 Hang Buam Street on the first 2 days of Tet. Then, only 20,000 Vietnamese dong afterwards, or about 87 cents US. Although the Thang Long Imperial Citadel isn't free, it features free water puppet shows from January 30th to February 2nd. In Tan Hoa, both the Ho Dynasty Citadel and Lam Kin Historical Site waive entrance fees until the 4th day of Tet, while the Hue Imperial City grants free admission to Vietnamese citizens on the first day of Tet. Cool.
Okay.
If you're in for the tourism in Vietnam, it's a good time.
Yes. Love the day of Tet.
Yeah. The Tet offensive.
my favorite.
No, not that.
It's my favorite. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Those are some of the stories from across Thailand and ASEAN. You can find more stories on thethaiger.com or visit
ASEANnow.com.
That's Thailand's largest English news forum, believe it or not.
Yeah, before we end, please do remember to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all things Thailand. And I have a last plug.
Believe in love?
Wait, let me plug.
Okay.
I have a show coming up in Pattaya on February 7th, next Friday. Go to Megatix. Get this
background
out.
music. I'm background music.
Terrible.
Come on, I'm doing it quietly.
Follow Leaf Laugh Love Comedy on Instagram to find out more details, or go to Megatix to book your tickets directly. We're about half sold out already. We expect to fully sell out next week, so please make sure if you are in Pattaya February 7th, get your tickets now. I'll see you then.
Comedy in Pattaya. Woo!
Yay! All right.
No chance of getting your gold necklaces stolen. It's a safe environment.
I will tell you, it is a magic show, so not entirely true. So might be like, whoa, how did you do that?
It's a good magic show. Don't say it like that. It's not a shitty magic show.
It's magic comedy
it's
music.
Good
it's all of the
magic
above.
comedy.
I got nothing up my
It's
sleeves.
gonna be great.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's go. All right.
Do you
Anyways,
believe
that's it. Let's get into the
in
comments.
love
How we
after
doing?
love?